Let's go back a month or so, before I released my first Steam Game Pass. I've used Discord for a while now, and I'm in a few channels that have bots. This started to pique my interest, so I did a little research and stumbled upon Discord bot games. I was hooked. Games played completely in a Discord chat or channel? How the heck does that work? I want to make one. While scrolling through YouTube one day, I stumbled upon this video by Riffle, Shuffle, and Roll, which was showing you how to play Scoundrel with a deck of cards. The game looks like so much fun. If you're unaware of what Scoundrel is, you should go check out that video I watched. The link will be in the description. But basically, it's a dungeon crawling game you play with a deck of cards. Hearts are potions, diamonds are weapons, and clubs and spades are enemies. There are quite a few other rules that go along with those cards, but I will get into that as we get to them. So obviously, with never making Discord bot games before, I used AI to help me code the bot. Each time it would spit out the code, I would try and understand what it was doing. I'm no coder, but I do understand what basic stuff is, like statements, arrays, and such. So anytime I didn't understand something, I would ask the AI to explain it further. This bot would be made using a Python script. So the first thing I had to do was set up a Discord dev account and get an app, which is what Discord calls bots. Never, and I repeat, never just add a bot to your server that you have. Always set up a testing server you don't care about, just in case. Also, while we're on the topic, I want to make a PSA. Don't just add any bot you see on the internet. There are a lot of bad bots out there, and they just want to ruin your server or worse. Alright, disclaimer aside, I got the bot connected and see it is online. Next step, let's get it to display something. I'm the type of person that needs to see results fast or I will lose interest. So this was crucial for me to even be motivated to continue. Now, I would like to say I was actually organized and took time to plan out the development and wrote out all the rules and was super organized for this project, but I did none of those things. I just had it all in my head and had a general idea of how I wanted it to look. And I planned to just keep adding things to the bot till it was complete. Kind of like building a tower. First you start with a foundation. In this instance, the foundation is getting something to display on the screen. And boom, look at that. My bot displayed something. Alright, I'm in. This is my life now. The next part of this tower would be the frame. And for my game, that would be getting the deck implemented. According to the rules, there are 44 total cards. This means you would remove the jokers, red face cards, and red aces. So I would have to ensure these cards were not in my game. I did this by using a dictionary. In Python, a dictionary is listed like this. Here, the suits are the keys, like spades and clubs, and each one has a list of strings for the card values. As you can see, there is an 11, 12, 13, and 14. These represent our jack, queen, king, and ace. I needed a way for it to represent these easily in readable names. That's where this sweet little function called card name comes into the chat. It turns 11 into jack, 12 into queen, 13 into king, and 14 into ace. Great. We have the dictionary, which tells us how many cards there are for each suit, and we have the face cards converted into words. But now we need to create the deck. Well, good thing we have the function create deck. It works by creating an empty list with deck equals bracket bracket. This will hold all of our cards we are about to create. Then, for suit in suits, loops over each suit, spades, clubs, etc. For each suit, this block of code grabs the list of card values from the valid card dictionary and pulls the numbers. So for spades, it pulls 2, 3, all the way up to 14. Then this block of code creates a tuple, which is an ordered collection of items in which the elements cannot be changed, added, or removed. This means that no matter what, our deck will look like this. Each card is a tuple. Value, suit, and we end up with our 44 cards. Now that the deck is set up properly, I added in some code for health and got that displaying along with 3 buttons, deal, damage, and heal. Pressing deal would allow me to cycle through the deck and ensure it was actually working as I intended. Same with damage and heal. I needed a way to test the health counter. After messing around with this, I implemented the game over message when you ran out of health. Next, I implemented the flee mechanic. In Scoundrel, you can flee from the current dungeon as long as you have not fled the last dungeon or you have not made any moves. Next up is working on implementing the weapon mechanic. Diamonds are your weapons. I added a sword and weapon line in the chat to show what weapon you currently have equipped. I needed each card to be its own dedicated button. This is what that looks like. The buttons update with whatever card is in the current dungeon. I realized this looked terrible with the one card button in the first row, so I figured out how to fix that. It was already looking so much better. Rather than get the equip weapon text to work, I added the fist button. This allows you to fight the monsters with your fists, meaning you take the value of the card as damage. Now that was working, as you can see here, where I fought a 3 card with my fist and took 3 damage. I finally got around to getting the equip weapon working, but the deck instantly dealt another card. At this time, I figured out how I could get the button colors to update dynamically with whether the card was red or black. This was done like this. I was super lucky that in Discord button style.danger happens to be red, and button style.secondary is gray/black. The button colors are limited to blue, green, red, and gray, so it worked out perfectly. I really tried to approach this build in layers, get something to work and then add something else till I get that working. The next layer is healing. In Scoundrel, the heart cards are your health potions, but you can only use one in a round. If you use another in the same dungeon floor, you discard that potion. This game mechanic makes for some challenging decisions while playing, so now we have the health potion button. But all that code just sets up the button itself. The healing happens later inside the equip button logic. This code takes the card's number, like 6 or 9, and adds it to your health, but it also makes sure your health never goes above 20. Once you use a health potion card, it then deletes it from your dungeon and sets. Which means if you try to heal again in the same dungeon, you'll just discard the card. That rule is faithfully followed here. 1 potion per floor, no exceptions. Now that you can heal with the potion button, I finally got around to adding a dedicated equip button and removed the word equip from each card button. This made the UI start to already look so much better. I am keeping the damage button here for now for testing to ensure later on I don't break my heal button. When making any type of game, little debug or cheat buttons can make your life so much easier when testing. Just make sure you remove them before you complete the game. It was about time I implemented the next layer, which would be attacking with your equipped weapon. I added the sword icon right under the dungeon cards. When you click it, it tells the game, hey, I want to attack using my currently equipped weapon. That sets up the visual green sword button. Now in row 2 of the UI, then in this callback, just like the potion button earlier, this doesn't actually attack yet, it just sets your intent. That way, when you click on a card, a club, or a spade, the game knows you're trying to fight it with your weapon. The real attack happens in the equip button class when it checks this block of code. As long as you have a weapon to attack, it compares your weapon's strength with the monster's value. This also updates the current power of your weapon to whatever monster you just killed, which is important because in Scoundrel there's a rule that you can only attack monsters weaker than your last kill. If you try to attack something equal or stronger, you get denied with this message. And if you swing at something too strong, anyway, the bot lets you, but you take damage. This is actually a super strong strategy in Scoundrel. While it is a very luck-based game, there is some skill to it. Taking on an ace or 14 damage when you have a 10 card equipped as your weapon only gives you 4 damage. And because you last attacked an ace, you could attack a king, then a queen, then jack, and so on. If you were to have the same 10 weapon card and attack a queen first, you wouldn't be able to attack the king or ace, and you would have to wait for another weapon or use your fist, which is a terrible idea. This creates a really interesting game loop. You want to save your weapon for the right time, and use your fist wisely. So now with potions and weapons implemented, I was really starting to feel that this was a full game, not just a Discord bot. Back to the healing potion for a fun UI mechanic, I realized that the game was already keeping track of whether you used a health potion or not, so I made the potion button turn gray, indicating you already used the potion for that floor, and the next potion would be discarded. This made the game so much more readable, so I added it to the weapon button as well. No weapon equipped, the weapon button is gray. Along with improving the UI, the player needs to be able to know what their last kill was. As I mentioned previously, you can't attack a card equal to or higher than the last card you just attacked when using a weapon. So in comes the last kill line, which is marked by a gravestone. This lets you know, hey, the last card I just attacked was a 6 and my weapon is a 5. So I can only attack a 5 below with my weapon. That graveyard mechanic is tracked in the code with this variable. You can find that in the dungeon view setup where all the data is stored. When you successfully kill an enemy with your weapon, the game records that enemy's value like this. Then, the next time you try to attack with your weapon, the game checks this block of code and it won't even let you try to attack. It blocks it early. That's a really cool moment for the player because it teaches them, hey, I'm getting out leveled here, it's time to switch it up. And just like that, we have a fully functioning Discord bot game. I made this game on a day off from work and it took me around 9 hours to complete. This was such a fun project to get into Python and coding Discord bot games. I decided to name the game Shuffle and Slay, but you can't have a full game without some rules. When someone types !rules in the Shuffle and Slay channel, it responds with a clean embedded message. I even learned how to add an image thumbnail to truly make the rule UI clean and professional looking. I went from completely no knowledge of how Discord bot games work to a fully functioning game. Oh, did I mention all of the code is available for free on my GitHub? That's right. With a little bit of setup, you can add Shuffle and Slay to your very own Discord server for you and your friends to play. The GitHub will be linked in the description below. Check it out. Make fun of my terrible code or the AI comments I left in there down below. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. This project jump-started my excitement for game making, and I am going to make more games and videos like this. So make sure you are subscribed and have a great day.